I've been raised on the farm since day one, so I was born into it. My grandfather came in here in 1905. I want to continue the farm for him and generations to come. So
I think it's a privilege that we get to be here. It's just a wonderful way of life.
You know, what job is there that you can go to work with your dad and brother, with your kids by your side? Doesn't get much better than that.
Keep going, buddy. The weight's there. The line's cold. Warren, wait. You want to try and get in? Just no. Okay. Warren, wait. Line's good. Okay. Line ahead. 1, 2, 3, 3.
Well, good morning, curling fans. How are we all feeling this morning? I'm doing fantastic. My name is Rory McCusker. I'm broadcasting to you live from Regina, Saskatchewan. Zapping into the technological mystery that we have going in Swift Current. Mr. James Warden and Jerry Gertz allow me to control the cameras and commentate this game with you this morning. Kleiter, Jacobson, two Sask Tour teams that should be no stranger to anyone following the Saskatchewan competitive circuit. Team Jacobson wearing green. Team Kleiter also wearing green. Wonder what that would be. Well, it started with a pretty classic first end with only one rocket play. Teams trading hits. They traded those hit and sticks all the way until the free guard zone was reached. So they hit way out of the house and created a bit of a mess here. Now Kleiter has got their center guard, you could even say, 2 of them. And they've achieved their goal. Play will be drawn into the house. The blank end is no longer a priority for Team Jacobson, or a realistic thing to try and achieve. Some different camera angles going in a second here. Just gotta figure out my settings. First game of the day. Team Jacobson starting with hammer. They would have achieved this through a last stone draw. Team Kleiter, like I said, managed to turn an open hitting end into something where they now have some guards to work with. Try to put a force or steal on this first end here. Nice sweep there. Keep that rock in play. Excuse me. Really giving this one a scrub. And a great sweep. They get buried. Top 12. Not enough for shot rock. That is, at this stage in the end, an important position to be in. A nice controlling stone that will prevent promotion. The Kleiter guard gives Team Jacobson 2 options. Run back. That may eventually come as Team Kleiter tries to sock one around. Center guard set up here. Team Jacobson around halfway through the end, realizing that the blank was just no longer easily achievable. Choosing to instead play around the center guards, try to score their 2 or more that way. While that draw by Team Jacobson didn't quite get shot rocked, didn't quite get to that 4-foot, 8-foot area that they were aiming for, it still makes this draw quite considerably harder. There's not as much room on the center guard to draw 2 now. So Team Rylan Kleiter will really have to manage the curl on this one, scrubbing it really hard at the end, trying to get that late finish as much better as they can. Justly recognized as one of the best sweeping teams, just in general, in my opinion, having played these guys. Team Kleiter does have some Grand Slam experience, actually. I remember when they were brought on as juniors in Saskatoon. That would have been in about 2018 or 19. 2019 sounds right. And that was something that the rest of the field, the Brad Jacobs and Gushus and Coolies and all those really top-tier men's teams that have grabbed those slams, that's what they noticed about Team Kleiter right away was, man, that sweeping technique and just stamina. Able to maintain those really hard sweeps. whole way down the sheet, and they can do it all game too. So, a real trademark characteristic of Team Kleiter. Really powerful sweeping team. That one couldn't quite get the curl that they were looking for. They'll leave this open for Team Jacobson to either freeze to or maybe just try to make a nice draw of their own, but that Kleiter rock in the back of the forefoot will likely end up being a tool for Team Jacobson. Not necessarily a successful position there. The Scorn brothers, Jake and Quinn, no slouches on the broom either. Very experienced, well-calculated sweeping duo, those two. They're gonna leave this one as long as they can, recognizing that's heavy. Just over curl slightly. It's good enough for shot rock. Buried behind cover. You gotta think that's a made shot. Perhaps not the exact position they were looking for, but first end, shot rock, behind cover. It did slide a little deep, so Team Kleiter is going to be able to gain that prime positioning on the tee line in front of these two rocks. But Rylan Kleiter's last shot of the end. He's got to make this, or Jacobson will be looking at a shot for two. Two run-back options available for Team Jacobson. So Team Kleiter will be looking to make a very effective freeze here to nullify those run-back options for Team Jacobson. For shot clock, only one. Really curling here. That rock just kind of lost its momentum. Sweepers were on it fairly early, but I'm not sure they expected it to die that hard. Kleiter having a bit of a discussion there. What happened to that rock? Always good to do when the rock surprises you or the ice does something that perhaps you weren't expecting. It's always good to talk it out with your team, understand what they saw. Geez, was I light there, or did that kind of die? Well, maybe a bit of both, you know. Maybe you threw it a little light, maybe you did, like, even just establishing that early communication in the game, it's going to help you out in the long run, because you're going to be facing that type of shot again. You draw around center guards, and you and your sweepers can understand why the first one was missed. You have a much better chance of making your next one, which is, of course, what curling's all about. Learning from your mistakes, making that next shot, understanding why you made certain shots. You have a team that's doing that, communicating, learning about the ice, the rocks themselves. It's going to be a better chance to win late in the game. It starts right now here in the first inning. Face to Jacobson, wide up to 2 points here. This one has not been played yet. Sweepers really reading the ice well. Trying to get some late curl, catch a piece of the forefoot here. So close, so close. Coming up just a little short, a little outside. Sweepers kind of had to wait on that one to get the right curl. Will be a 1-point score for Team Jacobson in the first end. Kleiter will take that hammer into the second end when we come back.
We just got our shipment of logos here in for our next event, which is going to be the mixed doubles. As you can see, there's a few of them. There's roughly 20 logos per sheet to be put in for the mixed doubles, along with a couple extra little dots. But all our logos come from Jet Ice. They are the best logos to put in. We use them around the world, and they're very easy to install. As you can tell, this is the center ice logo that's going to be going in for the world. This is about a 4-footer by 10. It's going to look like $1 million. Their colors on their logos are always nice and vibrant. And like I said before, very easy to put in.
Vernon Dodge Jeep is the home of the no-charge 60-day unlimited mileage buyer protection plan. Take home any late model pre-owned vehicle from the Fun Store and you're leaving with complete peace of mind. Vernon Dodge Jeep, for all your pre-owned vehicle needs.
Managed to sneak a Vernon BC commercial in there. Curling Stadium just installed a setup at the Vernon Curling Club. It's a beautiful club. They just hosted an event last weekend. Very successful thing. You know what? The Curling Stadium family grows. It is, believe me, set to grow exponentially here as club managers from across the country and the world realize, wow, my event possibilities are endless with this club. Local commercials, title event sponsors, everyone just getting more recognition, teams, clubs, event names. Jeez, it's just so exciting to see what this technology has done to a club, a team, a community's ability to host a wonderful event. Two nearly perfect shots from Team Jacobson to start the end. Rylan Kleiter chooses to throw the corner guard. We've got 3 made shots so far. Rylan Kleiter asking lead Matthew Talon. Making 4 in a row. Going for a little tick and roll. Very exact shot here, but the reward is massive if you're able to make it. It's really 2 shots in one. If Matthew's able to tick this center guard and roll the shooter around the corner, it'll be something really nice. As you can see, just a ton of curl on that stone. Might be the way Matt threw it. Could have been a spot in the ice, it could have been the stone, but that really took off. You can see the curl just ripping that stone across the center line. Noticing yesterday, the 2 games that I produced, rocks were really curling into and across the center line as they reached that 4-foot button line area, edge of button area. The stones would really curl, both hits and draws. So let's see if sheet 5 here today has that same characteristic. Ice conditions are clearly very high quality this tournament. You can tell just by the shooting percentages, the amount of made shots, the confidence in the sweepers as they take a rock down the ice. Really has been some very consistent, curly ice conditions that have allowed for some very, very specific shot making. Super enjoyable when ice crew is able to get things that consistently, and these teams take this game so seriously, are able to implement their information gathering systems, their observational habits, and they're able to really dial in to what the ice is doing, what their rocks are doing. And that's when we start to see some elite shot making. Is when it follows the ice conditions. You can't have these. It's really impressive games and teams operating their rocks without the ice. Just that. That's the spot. Mostly get that roll they wanted. They had to be a little delicate with that. You didn't want to overthrow that, jam it into your own. Also, quite a few guards to contend with there. So maybe the perfect roll was not a priority there, as it would have put some other rocks in danger. So it's good enough. Jacobson will be ignoring it. Always love these ends when the lead stones went according to plan for both teams. Both teams have the confidence to ignore what the other one's doing, create their own setup. You can see Team Kleiter here using their corner guard. You can see Team Jacobson here using their center guard. Both teams thinking they have a good chance of achieving their goals. Jacobson's goal, of course, being to steal a point or force Kleiter to 1. Kleiter's goal, of course, to score 2 or more points. and at the very least, leave a shot for one for their skip. That shot for one open for their skip. They're really playing with fire by not addressing that center guard as soon as they were able to. Team Kleiter making the decision to leave the center guard alone, make that hit and roll on Trevor Johnson's first stone there. Now Rylan Kleiter, recognizing the danger of the center guards being around in the house here, and has made a decision of which one he's going to address. It'll be his own stone, promotion attempt, run back attempt to Tyler Johnson. Really solid delivery. Something I've always noticed from Tyler, just very balanced run back. Matthews on this one the whole way. And they'll get a piece of it. Wow, what a sweep to hold that rock down the line there and make enough contact to push that stone all the way to the edge of the 12 foot, which in a house like this is likely going to be irrelevant. May as well be out of their position. Really impressive sweep there once again to hold that run back in place. They must have gotten less than 2 inches of that stone, so big sweep. Team Jacobson, not too upset with the result there because they can just replace that draw. The longer they're able to survive this end, replacing that draw in the top 4 without too much changing up front, is the longer they'll feel confident that Team Kleiter will be forced to address their stone in the 4 foot. Closer and closer to that goal, forcing or stealing. This will be a full end-to-end sweep by the Hersecorn boys. And they will get it there for a second shot. Not quite as deep, not a perfect steel rock, and it being so high up in the house, it'll make this run back a little bit easier. But again, a main shot. Shot from Matter's turn. Back. Exact, very similar result, very similar shot. This time, the weight was a little down. Team Kleiter trying to do what they could to make sure that the moated stones stuck around in the rings, but with that lower weight, came a little more variability in the curl, a little less ability for the sweepers to hold the line. Just over curl, a little bit. It was enough to move the Jacobson stone out of the prime real estate, which we would consider just that center line area, top 8, top 12, and was able to chip it over a little bit. But this in-turn draw to replace the stone would once again be available to Team Jacobson. Third, Jason Ackerman. Always a dangerous shooter. Sometimes you don't hear much about him until the very end of the season. And then he shows up at Southerns and just bosses everyone around with his shot making. Ackerman's always known as someone who can just turn it on at any time. That will be a clear miss from Jason, putting it deep. It'll be near irrelevancy, unless of course it's out-counting that stone at the top 12, but the likelihood of Kleiter being able to remove the shot 2 red stones at this point is very low. So if Kleiter wants 2 points, they're very likely going to have to take it in this scenario we see in front of our eyes right here. And Rylan agrees with me. He's set his broom down for a draw around the center guard. Things not quite working out to where they can use that corner guard setup. Remember that hit and roll earlier in the year to roll behind the corner guard. Well, they weren't quite able to make it work on that. Now recognizing that this center guard setup is all they'll have to work with, they will take their medicine. Draw 1, top 4, center guard. This is looking pretty good. For a little chip, and they'll get it. Now, while that was a lucky chip, you could say, that was always part of the draw path. Making their way into the top 4 there, they were always going to be tight to that red stone, so that's not something that you would call a fluke. It was definitely a bit of a plan B, but that red angle was always part of the possibilities of that shot. And the rock ends up more or less where they would have drawn it to. Not much changes there. Yellow stone right on the lid. That's not so bad of a thing for Jason Jacobson here. If he's able to make a freeze on that stone, he's given himself a very good chance of forcing the opponent. So, big shot here to try and take away a potential shot for two. Heavy on this one as well. You can see sweepers leaving it alone. Now the outside sweeper trying to coax some curl out of the stone. They were not able to get the wicky-ticky redirect. Very similar rocks being thrown there. Joshua Mattern and Jason Jacobson's first rock here. As we can see from that center line angle on the right-hand side of your screen, that's a very tricky hole to attempt a hit on that red stone. You've got to think, by the time your hack weight shot had curled enough to get through the hole, it would be peeling itself away from the target stone. I think the only possibility there, as you can see, Joshua Mattern tapping with his broom, I think you catch it pretty thin and come into your own. Team Kleiter might not have much of a choice though. Of course you could just draw another one in, but having hammer, you're not going to be able to tolerate that red stone being shot rock for too much longer. Really, after this rock, Team Kleiter will only have one opportunity to get rid of it. So, knowing how late it is in the end, it looks like they've decided, no, we got to go for it right now. Looks like a soft weight hit on the ice. Specific line call needed here. Have to manage this stone perfectly. Inside sweeper on and off. Here's that late finish towards the center line. I don't think you could have made that shot any better. That's a really well visualized shot by Rylan Kleiter and Joshua Mattern, understanding in the house the difficulties surrounding that shot, establishing with each other what weight needed to be thrown. Looked like that was a solid hack weight, maybe a bit more. A light enough weight to curl through that port, but a heavy enough weight to make solid contact with the stone once they got through that port and have enough momentum to roll over to a spot where Jacobson can't hit it. Really important shot coming from Jason Jacobson here, trying to limit the damage. Team Rylan Kleiter, line 2. Want to try and get shot stone here, which is possible. Or at the very least, occupy the top of the forefoot, prevent the draw for 3. This rock's really got a curl. Hung out for a long time. It's starting to move now. Outside sweeper. Really trying to get some late movement out of this thing, and they will. Wonderfully managed shot. Ended up coming a smidge deeper than they would have liked. Unfortunately, there is a tap back opportunity for Team Rylan Kleiter. If not a tap back, maybe they'll throw some weight and they're okay with losing their back stone. As long as they're counting 2, I think Team Kleiter is happy. It's enough to get shot rock. It's a nice shot by Jacobson, but as for many shots in curling, unless it was executed absolutely perfectly, it's not effective. That red stone on the button, they were hoping to have about a foot higher so it could not be removed. But it can be removed. Team Kleiter's going to try to do it for a score of 3 in the second half. Last rock, second. outside sweeper taking control of the rock, indicating that they want this to curl a bit. Switching to inside, but indicating it's close. Two perfect shots from Rylan Kleiter. Confident line, good weight, good line call, good weight judged by the sweepers, and they have earned 3 points here. In an end that seemed to be going Jacobson's way, Kleiter finds a way with center guards to score 3 points. Jacobson moves on with hammer.
We're for agriculture. For growers, doers, whatever it takers. We're for doing things with purpose. We're for the little guy with big guy dreams. We're for agriculture. We're for you. Nutrien Ag Solutions, leading the field.
Welcome back, everyone. Really exciting second end there. Team Kleiter and Team Jacobson attempting their own setups. Team Kleiter going for a corner guard setup, and Team Jacobson throwing a nice center guard and top 4 draw. Team Jacobson controlling most of that end, replacing a 4-foot draw over and over again. Team Kleiter chasing, but never really able to make the right shot. Eventually, Rylan Kleiter goes, to heck with this. I'm not making use of these corner guards. He chooses to come in himself, and in the last 3 or 4 shots for each team, Kleiter was just able to jockey for positioning, challenge his opponent to tougher and tougher shots, and, you know, Jason Jacobson, with a really tough look on his last one, was able to put it right on the lid, got shot rock, but it just sailed maybe 6 inches too deep, allowing an opportunity for a soft weight tap back from Rylan Kleiter, who makes good on it. Little camera confusion there. Sorry, folks. Wondering who's tuning in here. We got this Sasktoon game. Not as much international flavor as normal, but I can see we got 20 watching on YouTube. Probably a few more on Facebook. Maybe some more on the Curl Sass page. But hey, chime in. Let me know where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. I'm sure there's lots of friends and family of both these teams. Hello, and welcome. I'm sure you're all thrilled that you get to watch the boys on a Sunday morning, wherever you are in the province or the country or the world. It is a beautiful thing. Second, Trevor Johnson, putting his elite run back abilities on the shelf for a minute to make some center line draws here. What a marvelous shot there. Trevor Johnson eliminating the dangerous run back angle by somehow getting an inside tap on that top 12 stone. Hey, that's the ice conditions I was mentioning earlier. With ice that nice, you have the confidence to call and make such a specific shot. Really only had about 5 or 6 feet of room to curl and, really importantly, create some separation between the red and the yellow stone. Whereas beforehand, that red stone was firing into the 4-foot all day. Now with that corner freeze, that red stone can only exit the house facing away from the button, the action zone, the 4-foot. So, Jacobson recognizes this is no good. He'll have to address something on this centerline dance that Team Kleiter has created. And it will be a tick attempt. Same attempt that we saw Matt Talon make in the first end. Jake Hersikorn going for the same shot, and looks like he's going to get a similar result. Ticks the center guard out of the way. That was priority number 1. The perfect shot there is, of course, rolling your shooter into the rings. That's pretty difficult, though, and tough to sweep for as well. So priority 1 accomplished. Tick that rock out of the way. Roll it for a corner guard. That's a 4 out of 5 made shot in my books. Rylan sees a double peel opportunity here. Maybe if those rocks had more separation, he might leave them alone and continue to solidify his centerline setup, but recognizing an opportunity here to eliminate potential danger. And with an elite heavyweight thrower at his disposal, he's going to make use of Trevor Johnson's big weight. They missed the double peel. They are able to get one of those stones off. You can see Team Kleiter kind of laughing and joking with each other at the hog line. It's important to do. It's the early on a Sunday. You've got a 4-day tournament here. Gotta keep her light. You never know if you're going to be playing nearly every drop today. Triple knockout. The qualifying day is always quite tough. You don't know if you're going to be sitting around for the rest of the day or if you're going to be playing curling for 9 more hours that day. So important to keep the team spirit high and just try to have some fun out there. Got a wonky end taking shape here. I want to say advantage Kleiter, but we do have a Jacobson rock in the rings being ignored. We do have a corner guard that if Jacobson is ever able to make something happen down the middle here, he does have a corner guard to use to draw play to the wing, giving the team with hammer more options and really just a safer area to play to in case everything falls apart. At least you have an open draw to the 4-foot for your single point. Team Kleiter, of course, trying to keep play focused on this 4-foot area, this center line area. That hit and stick, they're able to do that. Rylan kind of scratching his head, maybe wondering if they could have rolled that one somewhere better. Jacobson now sees that there could be a double. You know what? My whole life it's just been called a crotch double. I'm not sure if I've heard any other way of describing it. That might just be a Sasky thing, and I'm sorry if that is a little inappropriate, but guess what? I don't know what else to call it. They're going to take it on here. Trying to catch the outside rock first and go bang bang right into that rock occupying the top of the button. No sweep here, but the double was so loaded up, there was a few ways to miss it and still make it, if you know what I mean. That was one of those ones for Team Kleiter where they may have wished that they were a little bit more picky with where the roll went. It seemed like they were quite satisfied to just let that rock hit and stick wherever. But the punishment is an easy double for Team Jacobson. now Team Rylan Kleiter will have to respond. Taking a moment to think about it here. Trying to see if he's got anything lined up. Oh, I got the wrong overhead for you. Sorry, folks. Let's blow that up. There we go. Rylan sees an angle here. He thinks he might be able to manipulate this front rock and get the run back double going. Whoa, sliders out of the rack, hack. Interesting, not a ton of weight on this. Perhaps they are not going for a double. Trying to get this one on the outside. Very interesting. With the weight thrown, with the amount of ice given, and with the straight sweeper engaging that rock, makes me doubt that they were going for a run back double. I think something like that was actually the call. It's either that or it was a miss out of the hand and they just adjusted right away. It's tough for me to tell. These guys are operating at a much higher strategical capacity than I am. Team Jacobson recognizing an opportunity here. That Team Kleiter stone rolled to quite a good spot behind the corner guard, but it is deep enough that if Jacobson is able to find the face of that stone and tap it back just a few inches, you gotta think that Jason Jacobson's team will have a buried rock with backing. The exact situation one is looking for as they create a corner guard setup. Sweepers just barely aren't able to drag that one far enough, and unfortunately, that will not get shot rock, meaning that if Jason Jacobson wants to score that stone, he will have to waste a stone coming to that wing to tap that rock. So even though it's in an unremovable position, this late in the end, you really wanted to get second shot there. Definitely not worthless, definitely not a missed shot, but the key aspect of that stone was to lie to at the end of it. They're not able to do that. Rylan Kleiter has an opportunity to remove shot stone and lie to himself. That's just the way this game swings sometimes. Ackerman missing heavy in the previous end. This time misses a little light. Sweepers have been on this from the get-go. Now off. Now going for the opposite roll. Not able to get either. So Rylan Kleiter was inside out of his hand. The team tried their best to hold that line. They couldn't. They changed their mind, wanted to roll the other way. It was a little too late for that. So caught in between, as they would say. Caught a little bit in between. Lots of movement on that stone, just as I noticed in the first end, and like myself and the teams have been noticing all weekend. Crossing that center line, in and around that button, edge of button area, rocks really seem to take off no matter what weight you throw. Definitely not a problem, and definitely not an indicative of poor ice. It is just simply a characteristic that both teams will have to adjust to, be cognizant of as they call the rest of this game. Third end. Second, third end is where the ice kind of, in my experience, settles in. You have a bit of changes in the first end. Second end, the paths are starting to get established. Second and third end, sometimes you find a spot in the ice where no one has thrown one down yet. But in general, at this point in the game, Skips Rock's third end, both teams have more or less dialed into the ice conditions for that day, for that draw. Another hit down the center line area. Able to keep this one fairly straight, actually. Beautiful roll. Did he tap it enough to lie to? I don't think so, but that's still an excellent position to be in. As we can see from this right-hand side of your screen, the center line angle, that is a intimidating situation for Rylan Kleiter to throw his last rock against. Rylan recognizing that there's not much good he's going to be able to do over there. If he contacts that top red, well, he's eliminated his own stone, he's promoted the red stone, and Jacobson will be lying to at the end of that shot. If Kleiter goes for the back one, it's very unlikely that he's going to be able to stick around in the rings once he hits it. And of course, you're only 1 or 2 inches away from that disaster that I described previously. So Rylan recognizing, I want nothing to do with that. His best defense is a good offense. In this situation, he'll tuck a rock behind the 4-foot line guard, low guard, force Jacobson to come address that stone, and if successful, Jacobson will score 2. But at least it will be just that, only 2 points. Rylan Kleiter, I've always noticed, does not take much time in the hack. Looks at the broom, dries off his hand, sits down. Less than 2 seconds later, he started his delivery. Everybody's different. Everybody's different in what they want to do in the hack. Rylan seems to be a quick draw kind of guy. Is really curling. Both sweepers switching to the inside position. Great drag. Are they able to get this deep enough for shot rock? Not quite. Not quite shot stone, meaning Jacobson will have his choice of draw or hit, or, ladies and gentlemen, has Team Kleiter left enough of that stone showing that Jason Jacobson can throw a double takeout, contacting the yellow stone, the open yellow stone, rolling into his own, which will then push the third shot rock, which is yellow, out of the rings. The decision is no. He has decided that no, he cannot see enough of that stone. The height is definitely there to make this double, but just enough of the face of the rock is covered by that low 4-foot line guard, to the point where Jason Jacobson says no thank you and cannot resist an opportunity for an open draw for 2, and I can't blame him. Last draw, third end. Jason Jacobson, draw for 2. Tie this game up after 3 ends. Heard the corns, on it right away. Looks like a 100% sweep right out of Jason's hand. Does not look bad. Looks like it's got a chance. And a full scrub front to back from Quinn and Jake Hurstcorn. Gets a little tap on the rear end from Jason Ackerman. That'll be 2 points, I believe. 2 points. Ties this game up at 3. We've had a very well-played game so far. Rylan Kleiter will have the hammer going into the 4th end when we come back.
Had some questions about if our houses are painted or they logo. Our events are always painted houses, but in the future coming out, I'm pretty sure we're going to be going to all logo houses. They're a great revenue source for any curling club. You can get your advertisements on there, and usually after the first year, the houses are paid for. It's all free money for you. So hopefully check Jet Ice out for your future in-house logo.
Welcome back, curling audience. I'm wondering, how many games do you have open at once when you watch a curling stadium live tournament? It's an important question. I max out at 2. My mother, Joan McCusker, can watch 8 games at once. It's absolutely uncanny. Not sure how she does it. My father, Brian, is a 1 game at a time kind of guy. Likes to just live it in real time. I can go 2 games. Read what's on the jackets here for Team Jacobson. I assume it's a sponsor. Playing these guys on tour over the last few years, I've noticed that, much like many teams, including my own, it takes them a few months to get the jackets going. Some guys are better at getting that order in the middle of the summer and having those jackets ready in September. Yet, not everyone is on top of the game like that. Sometimes you're trying to secure sponsors last minute, or, you know, maybe it's just pure laziness. Maybe, you know, I thought he said he'd do it. He said he thought I would do it. Doesn't really matter. Anyways, what I've noticed, Team Jacobson, at least the first third or half of the year, it's just kind of matching sweaters for them. Team Kleiter, on the other hand, always seems to have that side of things taken care of in good time. Another stuck tick. By stuck, I mean overcurled a little bit, sort of bunted the rock back. It's still unarguably better than before. The Jacobson rock is exposed. Team Jacobson will have to replace. But one of the reasons you remove a center guard is for later in the end. You don't want that thing in a 4-foot line draw path, and you know that's exactly where it ended up. Of course, it's available for promotion. Team Kleiter, a good run back team. But you know, optimal is of course clearing that front area in front of the house, pushing things to at least the 8-foot. Ideally, giving your skipper a draw path later in the end. Jacobson will take advantage of it and place this guard high, creating quite a bit of separation between those two, knowing that Team Kleiter will be addressing center guards. They're going to say, hey, if you're running back guards, we're going to put them way up high in the guard zone, make these run backs more difficult for you. 2 things you're looking for without hammer with your center guards is overlap, so they can't be run directly back, and separation, so they cannot be easily double peeled. They don't quite get overlap there, although I don't think it was possible, but they do create a lot of separation. So a very successful center guard makes it a little more difficult for Trevor Johnson. This is that curly spot in the ice, and that did not look like a particularly positive release. Also didn't look like a ton of weight either, so I would never want to assume that a shot was made or missed just based on my own perception of what the call should have been. I don't always know what these teams are thinking or what they're calling, and really, it's safe to assume they know exactly what they're doing. So I would call that a bit of a miss in the sense that Trevor left his shooter up high in the guard zone there, overlapping his potential intern run back. As far as a 3-stone trade goes, Jacobson throwing a guard, Kleiter addressing that guard, Jacobson getting to replace that guard, Jacobson certainly won that 3-rock trade. They're better off now than they were at the end of their shot previously, so that's all you can really ask for, is to just jockey for position, just ever so slightly better position throughout the end. And for the last few ends, Jacobson playing without hammer has been able to force play down the middle. Team Jacobson has been looking pretty good at the midpoint of these ends. It really just becomes a question of can they finish it off with Jason Ackerman and Jason Jacobson's stones. Whereas so far, Joshua Mattern and Rylan Kleiter have been able to outwork, outplay Ackerman and Jacobson. Little hit through the port here. Great angle. Beautiful shot. Just barely misses the low guard. That's a pretty tight port. They do leave it in a position which is going to be available for Team Jacobson to make not only a hit, but if they get through this hole, they'll be hitting that rock on the left side, thus rolling to the left side of the rings, which will make it nearly impossible for Rylan Kleiter to chase. Big shot coming here, Jason Ackerman. Jason Ackerman been on the wrong side of the inch, just a few misses here and there. This will be a big opportunity for him to bounce back, get something going for his team. Sweeper's right off. Looks pretty good. A lot of curl there. Great shot there. Jason Ackerman able to put a 100% result on the board after quite a few near miss, near makes. Able to get things going here in the fourth end. Rylan Kleiter will look to respond. Very different throws here with a positive pop on Joshua Mattern's throw. Wasn't enough of a pop to get by this guard. Oh, some elite level sweeping. There's that roll that we're talking about, and now that is the money spot. That is the spot to roll that both of these teams were hoping to have an opportunity to do. Another great sweep by Matthew Talon there on the inside. I did not think that was getting by, but they were able to hold it. Just another indication of really good ice is when sweepers are able to have that effect on a rock. The pebble is just soft enough to receive that manipulation, but solid enough to maintain itself throughout the game. Really hats off to James Gordon and the whole ice crew there at Swift Current, gaining a reputation as having some of the best ice in the province. Of course, club manager Chris Heichert, big part of that. Chris always chasing down sponsors, partners, event hosts, community representatives. Heichert really just working hard to make sure the club is operating as good as it possibly can. So I'm sure a lot of people appreciate that from Chris. Having a strong, healthy club, it's a very good feeling. And for all the club curlers at Swift Current here, really getting a treat. Like, I know for me, when I was younger, growing up, like, my parents were competitively involved, but still, just being able to see the top teams play on your club, on your sheet. Hey, they're throwing the rocks that I throw. It really makes it real for a young curler to see their curling heroes that they see on TV playing in their own club on the same sheet that they play on and everything. It's a really nice feeling. So Hackard able to get that going for the youth of his community. When I was working IG Wealth Management Showdown, or I forget the name of that tournament last year, on the championship final Sunday, Chris got a big group of kids out on the ice, watching the teams warm up and practice, getting face-to-face with, some of the top curlers in the world. I know for a lot of those kids, it's just another day, but for a few of those kids, that could be the moment that really inspires them to keep going with this sport, make it their number one, keep playing into high school, university, and beyond. So, love to see that. Jacobson here, recognizing there is no realistic way to get at those Kleiter stones that they've really worked hard to roll into good position. So Jason Jacobson's first stone, it will be a draw around the center guard. try and save this end from a Kleiter multiple score. Sweepers waiting for the curl here. Pretty good spot. They didn't seem overly thrilled with it, but I'd be pretty happy with that result. Perhaps they were wanting to err on the side of undercurling, showing Team Kleiter the outside edge of that stone. Perhaps they're a little disappointed that that curled just that extra 2 or 3 inches, which will allow Team Kleiter to approach the stone with the in-turn, giving them yet another opportunity to roll behind these overlapped, I don't even know if we can call these corner guards, but that entire left half of the curling sheet belonging to Team Kleiter. They'll try to sink another one in there. A hit and roll attempt here. Team Kleiter has made every one of their hits through this port, indicative of good ice for sure, but also indicative of a team that is really dialed into their own throw. Some elite level sweeping does not hurt with shots like this. Switching up his stones, maybe he just had the wrong order of what he wanted to throw, but maybe they have recognized, Team Kleiter, that there's a difference between these two rocks. One of them might be a little faster, one of them might curl a little more. Either case, they've chosen the stone that they want to throw for this shot. Looking like a solid hack, maybe bumper weight. Lots of rotation on this stone, trying to keep it true. Really going hard on it now. And that stone will just take off on them a little bit. A little mismanaged. Jacobson guard will tick into that protecting out-turn position. You gotta think, if Jacobson's able to protect this stone in the rings, Kleiter will have a very difficult shot, although it would be for 4. If that Jacobson stone is removed and a yellow stone replaces it, it will be a count for 4 for Team Kleiter. So in a different situation, Jacobson might be satisfied just throwing a straight guard to protect this stone, but with that run-back danger, the elite level sweeping, the very high level of shot making, the respect in general to their opponent, they might put the initiative on themselves to create a new situation here that is not as dangerous, that does not have as much danger of giving up 4. You can see some broom taps and discussion here. Maybe you guys can hear it, I can't. Of a situation where they tap their own stone to then lie to in a position where they don't think there's an obvious double. This would, of course, eliminate a single run-back opportunity for the multiple score. Their best chance of stealing is likely throwing a guard, but they don't seem to be considering that, as they understand that, you know, there will be some type of opportunity for Team Kleiter to score 3 or 4 points. See Jake and Quinn sort of working out amongst themselves how the ticky-tap action needs to go in order for them to achieve their goal of this shot. Biggest shot of the game so far here for Jason Jacobson. A little bit of last minute communication with the sweepers. And dials in. Gotta get some curl out of this one early on. Looks pretty close. Looks like it's a straight tap. Ain't so bad. Quite a bit of separation. However, you gotta think they were trying to roll behind their own corner guard and angle tap their own stone behind that overlap. Instead, they've gotten a straight back tap, which will expose the entire face of that top 8 stone for Team Kleiter. Even though red is lying 2 right now, about a 5 or 6 foot double available for Team Kleiter for a big score of 4. Massive moment here in this tie game. 3-3. Last rock, 4th end. Throwing the out turn. Trying to hold it with sweeping. Looking for a little curl there. 1 and 2. Right down the stick. Hardly any sweeping needed. That's a good sweep call by Joshua Mattern in the house there. Great throw by Rylan Kleiter. They earn a score of 4 here in the 4th end. Massive swing, well earned. Team Jacobson will have an opportunity to respond with hammer in the 5th end when we come back.
We just got our shipment of logos here in for our next event, which is going to be the mixed double. As you can see, there's a few of them. There's roughly 20 logos per sheet to be put in for the mixed doubles, along with a couple extra little dots. But all our logos come from Jet Ice. They are the best logos to put in. We use them around the world, and they're very easy to install. As you can tell, this is the center ice logo that's going to be going in for the world. This is about a 4-footer by 10. It's going to look like $1 million. Their colors on their logos are always nice and vibrant. And like I said before, very easy to put in.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Welcome back. Big score of 4 for Team Kleiter. Once again, 3rd end that I've seen here this game, where Jason Jacobson really making their shot, going for a centerline guard setup, allowing Team Kleiter to have some orbiting stones in the 8 and 12 foot, but really just kind of selling out for that centerline guard, 4-foot draw sort of setup. And once again, by the middle of the end, things were looking pretty good for Jacobson. On Jason Jacobson's last shot, he had an opportunity to guard his shot stone and set up a very difficult long-range run back for Team Kleiter. Team Jacobson respecting their opponent decides to make an angle tap to take away that opportunity, and unfortunately comes up just a little, didn't quite curl enough. Ends up tapping it straight back, left a 6-foot straight double for Team Kleiter, who makes no mistake. Throws a up weight, out turn hit directly at the broom. Almost no sweeping needed. Claps those 2 stones out of the rings and counts a big score of 4. Go up 7-3 here in the 5th end. Not that Team Jacobson made any real bad mistakes. There was just a lot of really specific shots that Team Jacobson was not able to make as exactly as they would have preferred. The wrong overhead going for you guys here. Let's fix that up. Boom. Yep. There we go. Got a lot going on here. Trying to watch the game, trying to commentate and bring you guys some good discussion and operate these cameras. It's a bit of a juggling act, but you know what? My favorite thing in the world to do. Being able to use this technology to bring live curling to everyone at home, it's a treat. Wouldn't trade for anything.
Do that. It's there. Half an inch.
Trying to get 3 rocks moving here. 1 and 2. Maybe that was all they were trying to do, but very successful shot. Clears 2 Team Kleiter stones out of the center. Rolls the shooter over for a corner guard. That's exactly what Team Jacobson was hoping for there. Recognizing the scoreboard, Team Kleiter's going to take off a corner guard. Now that the free guard zone is over, they have the opportunity to do so. Big sweep on that one. Not sure if they were intending to roll that for a center, but that is what they get. Ends up working out pretty good. I gotta think with that weight, they were trying to just straight peel that rock out of the rings. I feel like if they were throwing a hit and roll, they might have thrown a little more control weight, but hey, maybe I'm just wrong. That's a very, very big possibility. This looks like ice to come in around that center guard. Team Jacobson recognizing they have 2 corner guards along the right side there. With a scoreboard like this, losing by 4 with half the game behind you, the strategy does change a little bit from a traditional, scoring 2 points really, if you're able to win every end, that means create a force or a score of 2. Oops, sorry there, folks, that was quite nauseating. In theory, if Jacobson was able to score 2 here, force Kleiter in 6, score 2 in 7, he would have a tie game scenario coming. Nope. Horrible math. It would be 8-7 Kleiter in that situation. So, my main point, and what I should have just stuck with, and what I'm going to tell you now, 2 points is not enough. Down 7-3, when you have hammer, 2 points is not enough. These teams will be doing whatever they can, taking whatever risks are needed in order to create a messy freeze overlap, unremovable stone setup to try and create multiple scores. Team Kleiter, recognizing that exact same thing, will be removing red stones no matter where they lie in the rings or outside of it. Getting 2 to fly there. Leaving Team Jacobson with only 1 lonely rock in the rings. They will try to add to that here with the freeze. Down this many points, that's all you can really do is tap and freeze and try to use overlapped guards and tricky rocks in the house. Not too much more you can do. A little more separation than they were looking for, but that's going to work just fine. It's going to force Kleiter to address this setup by running their own center guard back. Definitely a double opportunity here. It would not be the craziest shot that we've seen Josh Mattern pull off. Weight coming down the ice here. Trying to get 3 rocks moving. Working hard to hold the line here. They will get 1. Fine result. Completely acceptable results. Any red rock removed is a happy thing for this team here. Significantly light here, Jason Ackerman. Gotta wonder if Jason's maybe got some mismatched stones or something, because really seems to be going from too heavy to too light back and forth pretty significantly, to the point where it's a little suspicious. Definitely, you know, people who've played with Jason don't know him to be that back and forth, so there's a chance he's dealing with some variation in his stones there. He's certainly not happy. You can see Jason Ackerman tapping his broom back there. Not his game today for sure. And of course, it doesn't help that Team Kleiter is really dialing in, making their shots to quite a specific degree, making it pretty tough for Team Jacobson to hang through the middle and back end of the lineup. I hope you're all having a comfortable Sunday morning, watching some curling with me. There's that trademark Team Kleiter push up press on the broom. River and Matthew getting as much weight as possible on the broom head. You can see their toes have less than 10%, 5% of their body weight just kind of floating behind them as they sweep. Really impressive technique. Wasn't quite able to get into the key spot, but that's a made shot. The outturn side is completely taken away. That Yellowstone is available for promotion if anything changes. That's a 4 out of 5 shot in my books. And once again, Jason Jacobson not satisfied with 2 here. He's trying to figure out how he can just even give himself an outside opportunity at a shot for 3 with his final stone. And he'll be able to do so. This tap that they've got lined up here is going to make it really difficult to remove any red stones at all. It may even tempt Team Kleiter into tapping their own stone on the outturn side there. Inside sweeper, Jake Hurstcorn. Going pretty hard on this one. Made the tap, but rolled off significantly. It's an unfortunate error there. That shot looked pretty close, but just a little too much weight. Couldn't quite get that action at the end to stick around in the top 4. Now, you can see Rylan's gears turning here. I should hit this one, right? I should probably hit this rock. But with how well they're playing, how well they know the ice, the zones, and in a more tie game scenario, it would for sure be the right call to come into the forefoot here. So they're just going to recognize that's where the best shot, that's where the best result is in the top 4 there. If they get even a piece of this rock tucked, it's going to be just as good, if not better, than hitting the open one. So they'll take this shot on, certainly not the wrong call. Hitting that outside one would more or less gift Team Jacobson a shot at 2. Not an easy shot, but a very much their shot for 2. Playing into the top of the rings here, pretty safe. Guarantee that you're not going to give up 3. Even right now, I don't think there is a shot for 3, so. Rylan Kleiter on his last one. Top 8, top 4. Just trying to eliminate that draw path, that tap path, which might not even be there in the first place. Putting those sweepers to work. Switching to outside now, Matthew Talon. And once again, not exactly where they wanted it, but that's going to plug the hole. It's going to do just fine. Outturn, Kleiter rocks. Inturn, Kleiter rocks. Run back, looks like Kleiter rocks. I do not see a shot for 2 here for Jason Jacobson. Entertaining the possibility of some type of in-off, some double in-off with huge weight. Yellow, red, yellow, and that's only a shot for 2. Rylan Kleiter once again with really firm control of the situation here. Team Jacobson coming together, just making sure there is indeed no shot here with running anything back or anything like that. There might be something where you could run back a guard into that top yellow stone of Kleiter's. And that yellow stone contacts the button setup, which would then drive the frozen yellow stone back, as well as the top 8 one being removed. There might be some type of run back, I guess you would call this 1, 2, 3, a triple, to then count your stone in the back 8 foot. I think this is the call. It's not crazy. It's of course difficult, but the angles are actually quite favorable. The natural thing for these stones to do is to split off and leave 2 red stones remaining in the rings. There's a chance he could hit it absolutely perfectly and stick the guard in the rings for 3 as well. Jason Jacobson. Big opportunity here to even the playing field. They'll need a run back triple. Significantly inside. Yeah, blows her by. Attempt, and the shot was there for 2 or more, maybe even 3 if he makes it perfectly, but we'll have to settle with 1. That's still a 3-point lead with hammer for Team Kleiter. Jacobson will try to make some magic happen in the 6th inning when we come back.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Welcome back, everyone. Very strong showing here. At first by both teams, but then Team Kleiter really just taking the game and running with it. I'm actually struggling to remember the last time there was a clear outright miss from Team Kleiter. I'm not even sure it's happened at all this game. Just really learning from their mistakes, understanding the ice conditions. Oh, I do remember Rylan came up light on a draw on the first end, but after a quick discussion with the sweepers, that was enough of that. Rylan's been stone cold from that point on. Jason Jacobson has been left with some very difficult shots. Making most of them to a pretty fine degree, but just not getting that exactness that Team Kleiter has been able to get out of their results. Third, Jason Ackerman, just here and there, little heavy here, little light here, has opened the door for Team Kleiter to really solidify a few ends. Leads have been playing quite well. Some tick attempts, some center guards, draw around, 4-foot play. Pretty good game by both leads. That's a fairly decent 2 center guard setup there. Maybe a little closer together than they would have liked, but totally fine in the grand scheme of things. Looks like Kleiter will not attempt a tick and will instead occupy the top of the house. That's putting the onus on Team Jacobson to make some more difficult shots later on. Of course, Kleiter's plan will be to remove these center guards the moment he's able to. For one more shot, those center guards will stay in place. Team Kleiter saying, okay, you're going to come around these guards? Well, you're going to have to beat our stone. Beat our stone in the prime real estate. Team Jacobson, it's a frustrating feeling at this point where you know you have to just make every single shot. Not only do you have to make every single shot, your shots are going to be infinitely harder than your opponent. It's a tough hill to climb, but I'm going to try to do it here. It all starts with a come around here with Jake Persicorn's first stone. Pretty significantly light here. Sweeper's on it the whole way. You definitely are better off light than heavy as the team down without hammer. Any rocks in front of the rings end up being your friends, but what we have here could be a triple peel scenario. Rylan might determine that it's a little too risky to take on. Risky in the sense that you might leave your shooter in a bad spot, you might blow by a certain rock, and They'll just take the safe double peel option here. Trevor Johnson doing what he does best. Down looker. He's not aware. Trevor looks down as he throws the rock. Maybe it was a unique one-time thing. But anyways, misses the double peel. Making me look a little silly. I've been pumping Trevor's tires as one of the best peelers, but that's the second missed double peel. My standards may be high, but they are based in experience. These guys have pretty famously ruined any with hammer setup that my competitive team has tried to cook up against them. You start to associate these guys with just the ruiner of dreams. But Team Jacobson gets to keep on working this center line steel force setup they got going here. This one's going to be not a successful shot. I think they were trying to draw around, but just kind of got caught inside. They'll instead split their center guard over, not really improving much. Another double peel attempt. Trevor Johnson here. This one seems to be closer. One and almost two. Very interesting that Rylan was concerned with taking that kind of corner guard off as well. Not too sure what danger there was there, but I guess the thinking was, hey, we're going to peel this one anyway. We may as well try to get two moving. There's no harm. Not sure too much bad could happen there, besides, of course, stuffing it. It'll be another center guard for Team Jacobson. Jason Ackerman looking to get his draw weight solidified here. And that's a fine shot. Maybe came a little deeper than they were intending, but it's going to do the trick. Rylan's going to go for this outside double peel once again, signaling that if they go for this, for the two centerline guards, Rylan just signaling to his team that there's a lot of danger that can happen from playing that shot. He doesn't want to stuff it and then perhaps even make a shot for the opponent. Right now, the onus is on Team Jacobson to remove those two yellow rocks in the ring. So Rylan does not want to give them any advantage or head start in getting that done. So he'll address this top guard. Joshua Mattern takes a turn, trying to get some rocks moving here. Only get one with no sweep call whatsoever. That's a little confusing. I guess they didn't really care if they got that outside one. Which, fair enough. Team Kleiter, their goals are accomplished. Every time they get rid of that center guard, they're accomplishing their goals. There's no real need to take multiple stones off right now. Kleiter's got two rocks in the rings. If Jacobson wants anything to happen, they're gonna have to create it themselves. Kleiter's very comfortable just sitting back, waiting for Jason Jacobson to make some kind of risky move. Jacobson recognizing that they can't keep replacing and letting a center guard get peeled forever, so we'll make a move now into the rings. Hoping to tempt some misses, some jams, maybe a tick or wick from the opponent. Really just hoping for any kind of variable to be created that they can make happen here. Anything but a wide open hit. This rock is really curling. Saskatchewan brothers able to get it by that front center guard. Little tick and roll. Not the controlling position they were hoping for. A slight improvement in the rings, but overall, at this point in the game, just needed a better result there. Another screamer coming down the ice. Joshua Mattern trying to make 2 rocks go away. 1 and will not get the second one. That is okay. The dangerous stone has been removed. Jacobson looking to remove the stone, lie 2 in the rings, and just send up a prayer that he'll get a flat-out miss from Team Rylan Kleiter. It's unlikely, but that's the only shot he's got at this point. Teams are, it's tough to think this way while you're still in the game, but for playing these ends, you're still learning about the ice. You're still learning about the rocks and your own throw. It is an opportunity to get better for the rest of the tournament. This being a B-side matchup, B-qualifier. The loser will get to fight another battle, try to earn their way into playoffs to the C event. Loser going to 33. Loser this game will play the winner, Josh Height and Clayton Wicks. So right back into another qualifier. The loser of this game will go at 4:30 p.m. A little time for lunch and a break and another shot at qualifying. So not the end of the world for the loser of this game. Rylan Kleiter taking the easy shot here. Just going for a hit and stick. Remain shot rock. Force Jacobson to address this stone out here, and ideally he'll have another hit down the exact same path in the ice. Executes this one perfectly. Nice rotation, positive release. Lets the sweepers do some easy work on that. Rylan Kleiter throwing really smooth so far today. Reason to be optimistic if you're Team Kleiter. Everyone seems to be firing on all cylinders. Of course, there's room for improvement, always is, but gotta be feeling pretty good about the way they're playing today. If Kleiter is able to hold on and win this qualifier, that'll give them a nice long break for quarterfinal matchups. Not being played till tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., so that'll give them a nice long day in Swift Current. Hey, go to the rail yard. I hear it's closing after this weekend, so get one last sangria in you before the rail yard is no more. Nice restaurant there in Swift Current for anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about. We'll have time to go play the disc golf course. It's my new obsession this summer, was playing disc golf. It's a bit of curling mixed with golf, mixed with frisbee, is what I would say. A really nice championship course in Swift Current. So if anyone's in Swift Current listening to this game right now, hey, go out and play some disc golf. You can buy a starter pack for $30 at Canadian Tire. Rylan Kleiter, shot to score one and likely take this game. Needs to curl a bit. Looks like it will come up enough. Or will it? That's a pretty close one. Might be red. Looks like red to me. It is indeed. We will likely see some more ends of play here. Jason Jacobson's sneaky little steal. Lulling Team Kleiter to sleep, it would seem. Tempting them to miss their last one. Kleiter will control hammer into the 7th end when we come back.
I've been raised on the farm since day one, so I was born into it. My grandfather came in here in 1905. I want to continue the farm for him and generations to come. So
I think it's a privilege that we get to be here. It's just a wonderful way of life.
You know, what job is there that you can go to work with your dad and brother, with your kids by your side? Doesn't get much better than that.
Welcome back. Bit of a surprise steal from Team Jacobson. Did not have a center guard setup. Did not have any significant overlap or staggered stones. Yet they were able to get a miss out of Rylan Kleiter, sorry. And game on. Still a significant advantage for Team Kleiter, but at this point, somewhat realistic opportunity. For Team Jacobson, they've got 2 center guards. Team Kleiter once again ignoring the tick opportunity. choosing to instead occupy that prime real estate in the front of the rings. You can see Rylan tapping his broom, top 4. Get it right here, guys, right here. That's a great shot. Matheson. Jacobson going for the shot rock here. There's another option to freeze on that top yellow stone, but recognizing that Kleiter is very likely about to start peeling guards, Jason thinks, I think we better get shot rock right now so we can spend the rest of the end trying to defend it, and I think I agree with him. The corner freeze would be a great shot if you thought your opponent might follow you into the forefoot, but knowing full well that Rylan Kleiter will begin the peeling process quite soon. He's going to try to get that shot rock right now. Just doesn't quite curl enough. Looks like they did get shot rock, but it's not really in a very prime position as far as the center line path is concerned. Kleiter going for the single peel. No need to mess around with a jam or anything like that. It's a floating throw from Trevor Johnson. Will get that single rock down the center line. The most valuable guard for sure of the two. Losing that guard here is Team Jacobson. Taking on the double peel this time. Just one of them will go. With that kind of weight, that's a big advantage, being able to throw that. Another replacement coming down the ice. Gotta think Jacobson's pretty happy with how this end is turning out so far. Multiple center guards, a 4-foot that is able to be drawn to. Jacobson is one shot away from being able to steal this end at this moment right now. So some work needing to be done by Kleiter here. They're going to have to make a double to get this center guard scariness to go away. Slightly confused as to what that broom might mean. ends up just taking one guard. Again, leaving Jacobson with a pretty satisfying scenario here. There is definitely an opportunity to bury a stone and create a steal opportunity here, which is what they'll have to do. A steal or a force would be acceptable. Allowing Kleiter to score 2 here would basically bring an end to the game. Right now, as the team without hammer, you got to be thinking extra end. I'm going to try to force an extra end. In that extra end, I won't have hammer, but that's okay. There's 2 ways to do that. They could steal the 7th end and steal the 8th end, or they could force in the 7th end and get a score of 3 in the 8th. Tough to say which is more difficult to do. I think a lot of teams would prefer to force and then get 3 in the 8th. Just having that last shot advantage, understanding that there will be, as long as you have some rocks in the rings, you will have some type of opportunity to make a 3 happen. Stealing 2 in a row, and I guess 3 in a row to win the game, it's just a very tall order. You just simply do not see it very often at all. Almost never, in fact. Kleiter now looking at not playing the center guard. Might have decided that at this point in the end, excuse me, might have decided that at this point in the end, with his 3rd, throwing his last stone, it might be time to just accept that there is going to be some type of mess down the center. And their best shot at winning the game is just to solidify 2 points right here. Jacobson trying to sneak his way into the rings here. Little tick and roll, little tappy roll. Get the inside positioning here. Hopefully make something happen on your next shot. This looks heavy. So I'm not sure why they needed to throw that much weight at this stone. I would be tempted to just throw a back 8, back 12 weight and try to tap your way into the forefoot, but that's going to leave him wide open on in the 8-foot wing. Not what Team Jacobson was looking for there. Interesting ice here. I think we'll see a lot of weight coming down the ice. And boom. Great read of the angles there by Team Kleiter. Able to clear the forefoot of much danger, scooting their own stone out of the forefoot, which wasn't necessarily helping them. It may have even acted as an obstacle later in the end. They've cleared the forefoot. They're lying free. A really big shot by Team Kleiter there. Team Jacobson's going to have one last opportunity. Astro, 7th end, Jason Jacobson, trying to keep their hopes alive. Sweepers like it, off it for the first bit, trying to coax some curl out of it now. Switching at the hog line. Quinn and Jake Versicorn, big sweeping game for them, lots of precise shots required. They will get shot rock. Will not be totally buried. It will be good enough, but again, just some preciseness missing from Team Jacobson today. Just not quite able to get the exact results out of these shots that they've been going for. Skip Rylan Kleiter will have an opportunity to put this game to bed by removing this red stone. Doesn't really need to stick around the rings, just get rid of it. He's going to do the trick. And with how Kleiter's been throwing today, I would expect him to do just that. Rylan Kleiter in the hack, last shot, 7th end. With 3 points and the game. Electing to go soft weight here, manage it with sweeping. Oh, inside sweeper's going hard. They will get it by. They will remove the red rock. They will score 3 points, and that will be it. A really well played game by Team Kleiter there. Starting to hit their stride going into playoffs. They will qualify out of the B event for the playoffs of the S3 Group Curling Stadium Series. Jason Jacobson will fall to the sea, playing the winner of Josh Height and Clayton Wicks. That'll be at 4:30. Don't miss the next draw at 12:30 here. Got some seaside action. Michael Carr's taking on Scott Manners. Josh Height taking on Clayton Wicks. Max Kirkpatrick playing Damon Bernath. All at 12:30. And of course the women's event. You can check all these scores on curlingzone.com. You can check the event on curlingzone.com. And guess what else you can do? You can hop on to the next sheet over and watch Jesse St. John finish their game against Ben Gamble. That is on this Curling Zone YouTube page. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Have a great afternoon, and go Detroit Lions. Bye, everyone.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.